Hey, Grace Church. Each week I sit down on a Sunday evening or Monday morning maybe, and I plan out my week. I update my to-do lists actually. I look through my calendar and I do some planning for the week. And I suspect, you're kind of like me. You probably all do that. We all do that to some degree or another. And but sometimes when I consider all the things that I'm doing and the time that I'm planning, I forget about the time I'm actually wasting, all that lost time. And I often go to bed at night and I reflect on the hours that I wasted, doing things that maybe I shouldn't have done, watching, excessive amounts of something on a streaming channel or something like that, spending too much time reading a book that has absolutely no redeeming value. Maybe working too much, watching excessive amounts of sports or whatever it might be. Doing things that were simply, well, quite frankly, a waste of time. And it's amazing to me how much time I actually waste when I track it. It's pretty disappointing, actually, when I think about it. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying, in moderation, watching sports, reading, doing your hobbies, whatever is wrong. Okay, I'm not saying that. But if you're like me, I can go overboard on something and it becomes a huge time waster. And my guess is, it's true for you as well, just like it is in my life. And when I think about that, I've got like 8,800 hours, about 8,800 hours each year to do something with my life, just like you do, 8,800 hours each year. And it goes by quickly, doesn't it? Think about a year gone by, 8,800 hours. What did you do with it? And my reminder here is that our time on this side of eternity, it's limited. It really is limited. 8,800 hours times every year of your adult life. I mean, you do the math. We need to make the most of every minute that we have. And one of John Piper's devotional books that I read, and I'm not reading all of it all the time, but I guess it's kind of backwards to you probably on the screen. But anyways, it's called Taste and See, and it's a devotional book that I've got. And he writes about time. Here's what he says. A couple different passages, just real short ones. He says, time is precious. We are fragile. Life is short. Eternity is long. And shall we not then enter on every venture with a vigilance? Enter in on every effort with a vigilance to redeem that time. And he goes on to say, surely God means for our minutes on earth to count for something significant. Surely he didn't just give us this time to waste and to sit around and do nothing, all right? Surely God means for our minutes on earth to count for something significant. Paul talks about this too. When he's talking to the church of Corinth, let me get my Bible over here. When he's talking to the church in Corinth, this is in 1 Corinthians, and it's chapter 15, and this is verse 58. Paul talks to the church and reminds them, he's talking to believers now, that they need to be careful about how they spend their time. See if you can pick up on the challenge that Paul gives the believers in Corinth. Here's what it says. It's a real short verse. It's therefore. So he's been talking a lot about what things they should be doing and where they should be spending their time and their efforts and their energy, all the things about their church and life that they should be focused on. And he says, therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. So I picked up on a few things. I wonder if you did too. Did you hear his words? Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord. Always. So even when we're relaxing, give yourselves to the work of the Lord. When you're working, give yourselves to the work of the Lord. And so here's what I want you to think about. Make the most of every minute that God has given to you. If you're chillaxing, resting for a little bit, always to the Lord. If you're working hard, always to the Lord. Remember, make the most of every minute of every hour that God has given to us. Okay, that's it for now. We'll see you in church on Sunday.